The Wings of Hope program was created to help children cope with grief and loss, such as the death of a loved one, divorce, abandonment, or parental conflict. We have partnered with an organization called Horseplay to bring equine-assisted psychotherapy and equine-assisted learning to the children of Douglas County. We're also working closely with the school district to identify the children that are experiencing such losses. With our previous model of peer-to-peer mentoring, we encountered some barriers that made it difficult for us to reach children in the outlying communities. By partnering with Horseplay and bringing the program to the schools, it's enabled us to help more children in a consistent manner. We are able to help more children in unique and sometimes more effective ways compared to traditional therapy.
Equine therapy has been the most effective, the most studied, the most used as far as research and treatment with humans. There are a few different types of horse therapy. I found the most effective is what's called EAGALA, Equine Assisted Growth and Learning. What talk therapy ends up doing initially at first is they label everything. You lose your mom or your dad, well obviously you're sad. Well, what if they're not sad? What if they don't know what they feel? We work with kids that have been working with talk therapy for years, but they still are stuck. They come in, they start working with the horses after about 2 or 3 sessions. Suddenly they're not stuck. They're able to start processing. We're not projecting onto them what emotions they need to feel.
We don't have expectations as to what's going to happen. Whatever needs to happen does. It's not designed for us to put our agenda on anybody for anything. And whatever they're ready to deal with, they do through this process.
We have a group of kids who are here. Part of their issue is social interaction. With this particular exercise, each of them would be able to take a turn at learning how to manage an emotion, a thought, a feeling. The arena was to be divided into 3 and they were to set up their own obstacle. Then they were going to name a horse with an emotion that they had. One was annoyed, one was mad, and the other was happy. When
we address the horses by their emotions instead of their names or who they are, it ended up paralleling. The horses mirrored exactly what the group was doing. There was diversification in the group. Annoyed actually influenced all of the other horses, and that happened both between the children and the horses. In our program, we've been able to see a lot of success with a lot of children in a very short amount of time. That's one of the reasons that this modality is so powerful. It works fast. The Wings of Hope completed a horseplay pilot program with students from the Oakland School District. We were able to observe measurable improvements with the OQ45. This is an outcome questionnaire which each student takes before and after the 8-week program. It is a standardized test. It assesses 3 different areas of a person's functioning: symptoms distress, interpersonal relations, and social role performance. The students all showed improvements in the areas over the course of the program. We've also gotten a lot of positive feedback from school officials.
We saw amazing turnaround with our students that partook in the horseplay. I can think of one student, a young man who was very downcast and walked around with a hood over his head. Also, didn't really interact with any of the adults or anything like that. And after horseplay, he came back just a different individual with a smile on his face, willing to talk to any adult. Began handing his work in, and his grades went from D's and F's to A's and B's.
We use the same techniques where it's equine-assisted learning. It's not the psychotherapy piece, but instead we're looking at the group as a whole. So when you're talking about corporations, you're talking about management teams, groups of people, you look at skill building, leadership training, communication, relationship development, all those kinds of things within a team. And so the group itself is assessed as a unit.
Why does Mercy Foundation get involved in anything that we do. It's to make the community better. It's to bring things to the community which nobody else is trying. The Mercy Foundation is willing to look out there, bring in cutting-edge things that are working. They're working faster, they're more efficient.
I think a program like this is very powerful. It reaches a place in people that not a lot of traditional therapies tend to do, and it is fun. It's something fun to do, and it's not heavy, and there's no expectation, but at the same time there's a lot of growth and a lot of change and a lot of insight from the experiences that are created through this process.